Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Protection Update. Now, I'm actually recording this update on Thursday the 18th of November, late in the evening, and you're going to hear it from Friday the 19th. If you were ever wondering about how I actually put this thing together, pull up a chair and I'll tell you. At the start of every week, kind of at the back of my mind really, I'm always on the lookout for something to talk about in terms of protection. So it could be that there's a new product, or there's a feature that's coming out, or a benefit that needs talking about. It could be an interesting article or something that was posted on social media. Might even be something that we're doing here in the network. Or it could be anything else which I happen to think will help and inspire you to advise and recommend protection to your clients. Now, the way my brain works is that I have to write things down, otherwise I forget them. So I write my notes, I just capture bullet points really, and then ideally I want to have the outline for what I want to talk about by about Wednesday afternoon. That's when I like to record this and get the MP3 and the transcript over to our wonderful marketing team. Thank you, Katie and Danielle. And you guys get the Protection Update package together and out there by about 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Well, that's the plan anyway, as I say. I'm recording this one a bit late. It is Thursday evening. It is a bit late and I am pretty tired having just returned from Birmingham. But of course, if you join me at any of this fortnight's roadshows, we did Cardiff last week and London last week, Edinburgh this Tuesday, Manchester on Wednesday, and today was Birmingham, or it could be yesterday if you happen to be listening to this on a Friday. And you might remember me saying that this whole podcast idea was born out of frustration really, because when I first started this job back in April, we weren't allowed to do anything face-to-face, we couldn't do live events, and as a consequence, kind of felt like I was working with my arms tied behind my back. Plus, I know that you get a lot of emails, you get a lot of communications, there's lots of stuff that you've got to deal with. Of course you're busy, you've got clients to deal with and all those other things. And it does take time to stop what you're doing and read something. So hopefully these updates have lightened the burden a little bit, because you can just press play and listen to the podcast if that's what you prefer. So as I say, we've just finished this fortnight of regional roadshows. It was brilliant to see you all and all of you who attended. Definitely long overdue. Ian Davis down in Merthyr Tydfil, really good to see you after a good few years. Richard Kinga and the team at Bespoke. All the team over at Multibroker in Manchester. Naprawdę dobrze widzieć was tu w Manchesterze. Do zobaczenia. And in Birmingham, that was the best attended event of all of these roadshows with a packed out room. Obviously, thank you for coming down. It was really great to see you all. Now, during my presentation at the Birmingham Roadshow, I was actually passed a note mid-presentation by an advisor at the front of the room. That advisor was Chris Brown, and Chris works for Regal. Now, I must admit, having received the note mid-presentation, it did throw me slightly, but I opened the note and I looked at it during the live presentation, but I'm embarrassed to say that I couldn't really read what it said because I didn't have my reading glasses on, so I had to put it down. But I did catch up with Chris afterwards for a quick chat, and also to apologise for why I wasn't able to read his note to the audience. And what Chris was sharing with me was a piece of text that he had written on his office wall for many years. And it said, "It's my job to talk to you about protection, not to talk to your family about why you didn't have any." Now, all of his clients would come into his office and they'd be able to read that as soon as they walked in. So let me read it again. "It's my job to talk to you about protection, not to talk to your family about why you didn't have any." Well said, Chris. Really good. And I'm glad you shared that with us. So I think we've managed to see over 200 of you over the past 5 regional roadshows. That was a fantastic result. I really hope you enjoyed them. And of course, we're going to be back on the road in January, and I'll be able to give you those dates very, very shortly. Now, one thing that we have been plugging recently is, of course, our NTE. The NTE is the national training event. It's our national conference, and this is your last call to action. The NTE is the biggest event of our calendar year. It is virtual. That means it's online, and we do have a really good lineup next Thursday. But remember, you do have to register or you won't be able to join in. So I've added the link to this week's protection update. So all you've got to do is press that button. What we're doing a little bit differently this time round is actually splitting the conference in half to give you a break in the middle. Because in that time, we've got some really good virtual provider stands across all the different propositions, and that's your opportunity to go and take a look at them. So of course, under normal circumstances, when you're walking around the exhibition hall, if it was a live event and you filled your bag with pens and goodies, you'd naturally have a chat with all the different providers. Well, we've created a pretty cool exhibition zone with lots of really good content for you to take a look at. From a protection point of view, what I've done is I've asked all the protection providers to give me a short video that has 3 reasons that you need to consider them. They're really short videos, and we've embedded them onto a single page so you can take a look at all of our sponsors on the day, and perhaps maybe you can tell me later on which provider video did you think was the best. So that's it from me for another week. It's a short protection update this week. I'm going to try and pin Bob Scott down for a proper roundup of what we covered on our regional roadshows as a reminder, and we'll see if we can get that to you straight after the NTE next week. So have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you soon.